In a quiet lagoon, under the warm glow of the sun, lived a little turtle named Tino. Now, Tino wasn't like the other turtles. While they spent their days lounging on sun-warmed rocks or munching on pond plants, Tino would sit by the water's edge, staring at the horizon. He dreamed of a world beyond their peaceful lagoon, of adventure and discovery. One day, as Tino explored the twisted roots of an old mangrove tree, he found something strange, a tattered map, its edges worn and its ink faded. But one thing stood out, a bold X marked on a nearby island. Below it, in faded letters, were the words, the. Tino's heart raced. Could it be real? The legendary pearl said to grant wisdom and light? He rushed back to share his discovery with the other turtles. But the lagoon wasn't impressed. A turtle on an adventure? Chuckled old Marlowe. You won't make it past the first wave. But Tino didn't let their laughter stop him. At dawn the next day, with the map tucked under his shell, he pushed off into the open water, ready to prove them wrong. The journey wasn't easy. The waves were strong, and Tino's flippers ached as he paddled against the current. Just when he thought he couldn't go any farther, a sharp click caught his attention. It was Crinkle, a crab with one oversized claw.
Where do you think you're going, little turtle?
I'm Tino, and I'm on my way to find the Pearl of Eternity.
Well, you won't get far without my help. I know these coral reefs like the back of my claw. Follow me.
Crinkle led Tino through a maze of coral, snapping branches out of the way and warning him of sharp urchins hidden in the shadows. Together, they made it through. But ahead lay another challenge, jagged rocks rising from the sea, with waves crashing against them. Tino froze, unsure of how to get through. A shadow passed overhead.
Hey, need some guidance? I'm Skipper, stick with me, and I'll guide you through.
With Skipper soaring above and calling directions, Tino carefully paddled through the treacherous rocks. The waves were high, but with Skipper's sharp eyes and Crinkle's steady presence, they made it safely to the other side. And then, finally, Tino saw it, the island. But his excitement faded as he noticed a massive cliff towering before him. The pearl was at the top. Tino tried to climb, but his short legs and heavy shell made it impossible. He slumped at the base of the cliff, discouraged. But Crinkle wasn't ready to give up. We've come too far for that, Tino, he said. With a gleam in his eye, Crinkle pointed to the vines growing nearby.
We'll build a pulley system.
With Crinkle tying vines into knots and Skipper flying the rope to the top of the cliff, they worked together to hoist Tino upward. Slowly but surely, Tino reached the summit. And there it was, a crystal-clear spring, and at its center, the Pearl of Eternity. Its glow was warm and mesmerizing, lighting up the whole summit. Tino stared at it, awestruck. But as he reached for the pearl, Tino paused. He thought about the challenges he had faced, the courage he had discovered, and the friends who had helped him. The real treasure, he realized, wasn't the pearl, it was the journey itself. Tino left the pearl where it belonged, nestled in the spring, and returned to the lagoon with Crinkle and Skipper. This time, the other turtles didn't laugh. They listened in awe as Tino told his story of bravery, teamwork, and adventure. From that day on, Tino wasn't just a little turtle. He was a hero, an adventurer, and a reminder that even the smallest among us can achieve great things. And though the Pearl of Eternity stayed on the island, its light seemed to follow Tino wherever he went, a symbol of his journey and the treasures found in daring to dream.